They ruled like gods, but behind the gold, the pyramids, and the glory, the pharaohs hid a darker truth. Because ancient Egyptian pharaohs were not just kings, they were symbols of fear, death, and immortality. Welcome to the Empire of Eternity, and its price. This is the dark truth about ancient Egyptian pharaohs. Beyond the postcard image lies a machine of power, and a war against time itself. To the people, the pharaoh was a living god, porous in the flesh, chosen to keep the universe from falling into chaos. He did not just rule the land, he ruled order itself, life, law, and ritual, bound to his name. His identity was sacred, his image was a spell, his words, divine decree. Every feather, every jewel, every gesture, designed to say, "This is eternity wearing a human face." Temples were not just buildings, they were cosmic engines, tuned to the sky and the king. Power lived in ritual. Priests guarded the pharaoh's divinity, feeding it with offerings and fear. Hierarchy cut like a blade, viziers, scribes, overseers, an entire world arranged to reflect one man. Ordinary lives bent around a single purpose: glorify the ruler, secure his place beyond death. And the terror beneath the gold? That all of this could vanish if the king failed to master the afterlife. Glory on the walls, fragility in the dark. Monuments were not vanity. They were weapons against oblivion. Stone, weight, alignment, the language of forever. Deep inside, rooms of silence waited for a king to breathe again. Organs preserved, names protected. Every part of the body guarded like a talisman. Mummification was a map, the flesh rehearsed for eternity, stitch by sacred stitch. The face became immortal, sealed in gold, so the soul would know where to return. The Book of the Dead, spells as survival gear, words to open doors, words to quiet monsters, amulets whispered protection, names were passwords, memory was a shield. In the Hall of Judgment, the heart was weighed against a feather, too heavy, and you were devoured. Not torture, erasure. A second death, forever. To be light was to be true. To be true was to be eternal. Each night the pharaoh traveled with the sun through the underworld, battling chaos in the dark. Caverns, gates, serpents, all mapped on walls so the king would not lose his way. If he rose again, the world rose with him. If he failed, the cosmos cracked. Immortality demanded hands, thousands of them, pulling, carving, shaping the pharaoh's tomorrow. Scribes turned sweat into numbers, grain into loyalty, labor into legacy. Stone answered to calendars, stars, and deadlines that outlived the men who kept them. Some were skilled, some were pressed. All were bound to a vision larger than their names. This was a system, a city built to feed a tomb, to feed a dream that would not die. But even gods could be erased. A name carved out is a life cut off from eternity. Damnatio memoriae. Destroy the memory, destroy the soul's map. Power rewriting the past. Some names survived in shadows, the only refuge from royal vengeance. Succession meant storms. New rulers balanced on old ghosts. Erase, correct, sanctify, repeat. Fear did not always shout. Often, it wore a calm face and perfect order. Curses guarded tombs, but they also guarded an idea. The king must never be disturbed. Ritual gave breath to stone, voice to silence, keeping the pharaoh present even in death. Behind ceremony was surveillance, watchers watching the watchers. Control sealed the world, the lid closed. The story kept breathing. The closer you get to the beauty, the heavier the dread becomes. Every object is a lookout post against forgetting. The desert erases. The rituals resist. Between them, the pharaohs fought for a name that would not fade. Glory was armor. Authority was a spell. But underneath it all, fear of judgment. They built in stone to outlast breath. They scripted the sky to outlast time. Yet the heart cannot be bribed. The feather cannot be fooled. In the end, truth weighs everything. The pharaohs did not just rule Egypt, they built their power against death itself, and the shadow of that fear still survives. If hidden. If pulled you deeper into the shadows of history, leave a like, subscribe, and join us for the next mystery. Some names are written in gold, others in silence. Choose what survives.